with Anvesha. Today we are going to discuss about an interesting topic, a system in our body only, which is known as human digestive system. So let's start. The energy required for all the processes and activities that takes place in our body is derived from the food that we ingest. Digestion involves the process of breaking down of food into smaller and smaller pieces. It includes the mechanical breakdown of food by chewing and the chemical breakdown by digestive enzymes that takes place in our mouth until they can be absorbed and assimilated into our body. So now we will see the flowchart of human digestive system. So as we know, food starts its journey from mouth, passing through different organs and finally reaching anus, where the body excretes out in the form of waste like urine, stool, etc. Now we will discuss about all these organs in detail.
So this is how food starts its journey from the mouth and passing through different organs, it finally reaches anus. Now we will study about them in detail.
So now we will start with the first part of the digestive tract. The mouth is the beginning part of the digestive tract. In fact, digestion starts here as soon as you take the first bite of a meal. Chewing breaks the food into simple substances that are more easily digested, while saliva mixes with food to begin the process of breaking it down into a form that our body can use and absorb. The glands produce around 1.5 liters of saliva every day, and it plays a vital role in lubricating food. Lubricating means softening the food and digestion and protecting the oral environment.
Picture of human digestive tract. So now we will see the organs of the human digestive tract. So we will start from mouth. The first organ is salivary glands, then food comes to tongue, then epiglottis, then esophagus, then stomach. Then there is a tube from which bile juice from gallbladder and liver mixes with the pancreatic juice from the pancreas, and it pours the juices to the duodenum, where further duodenum transfers the juices to the small intestine. Small intestine gives out the waste food to the large intestine. Large intestine transfers it to rectum, and anus excretes out of the human body. So this is the labeling of some organs of the human digestive tract. There are three pairs salivary glands that are responsible for the production of saliva: the submandibular glands, the sublingual glands, and the parotid glands. So they are all ducted exocrine glands. Now we will see esophagus. The esophagus is a muscular tube. So this is the esophagus extending from the pharynx. So this portion is known as the pharynx to the stomach. So this is known as the stomach, by means of a series of contraction called persistalis. So these are persistalis, these are contractions point of the esophagus. The esophagus delivers the food to the stomach. So this is the stomach. Just before the connection to the stomach, there is a zone of high pressure. So this is the zone of high pressure called the lower esophageal sphincter. This is a valve meant to keep food from passing backwards into the esophagus. So if it passes backward, then we will vomit out the food. So now we will see the full structure of the stomach of the human digestive tract. The stomach is a sac-like organ. As you can see, it's like a sac with strong muscle walls. So these are the strong muscle walls. In addition to holding the food, it also a mixer and grinder. So it mixes the food. So it contains hydrochloric acid, which mixes the food so hard that even razor also mixes in this hydrochloric acid. The stomach secretes acid and powerful enzymes that continues the process of breaking down the food. So these points are the enzymes. So these are the muscles and these are the enzyme points. From there, the food moves to the small intestine. So this is the duodenum part from where food passes into the small intestine. The empty stomach is only about the size of your fist, but can stretch to hold as much as 4 liters of food and fluid, or more than 75 times its empty volume, and then return to its resting size then when empty. There are 4 main regions in the stomach. The cardia. So this portion is known as the cardia. Then it is fundus. So fundus is this portion. Then it is body. So this is the body of the stomach. Then pylorus. So these are some of the others which are not much important, but these are the important ones. So now we will see what is pancreas. So 3 organs play a vital role in helping the stomach and small intestine digest food. So first one is pancreas, next is liver, and next is gallbladder. Now we will discuss one by one. Among other functions, the oblong pancreas secretes enzyme into the small intestine. So this is the pancreas and it secretes pancreatic juice. These enzymes break down protein. So protein is broken down here, fat also is broken down here, and carbohydrate from the food we eat. Now we will discuss about liver. So this portion, as you can see, this is the liver. The liver has many functions, but 2 of its main functions within the digestive system are to make and secrete bile. So this is the bile. So there is a connective tube, as you can see. One comes from the gallbladder and the other comes from the gallbladder and other comes from the liver and mixes with the pancreatic juice here, and it pours and it reaches duodenum, and finally duodenum pours out the juices in the small intestine. So other functions of liver are to cleanse and purify the blood coming from the small intestine containing the nutrients just absorbed. Now we will see what is gallbladder. So this portion is known as the gallbladder. So the gallbladder is a pear-shaped, as you can see, it's a pear-shaped reservoir that sits just under the liver. So this under the liver there is gallbladder just under the liver and stores bile. So this stores, liver pours the bile juice into the gallbladder and gallbladder secretes the bile juice here, or it stores the bile juice at gallbladder. During a meal, the gallbladder contracts, sending bile to the small intestine. So it contracts like it becomes small, and then it passes to the intestine, the bile juices. Once the nutrients have been absorbed and the leftover liquid has passed through the small intestine, what is left of the food you ate is handed over to the large intestine or colon. So this is a 3D view of the organs of our digestive system, like colon, large intestine, small intestine, liver, gallbladder, pancreas, and stomach. So now we will see here what is small intestine. Made up of 3 segments. The duodenum. So this is the duodenum. So this part is known as the duodenum. This is a blue part, as you can see, upper blue part. Then is the jejunum. So this jejunum is also blue part, but it's lower blue parts. And ileum. This green part, these all green parts are known as ileum. The small intestine is a long tube loosely coiled in the abdomen. Spread out, it will be more than 20 feet long. So if you spread out the small intestine straight, it will be 20 feet long. Persistales contractions is also at work in this organ. So persisteles are these muscles or these curves muscle are the persisteles, moving food through and mixing it with digestive secretions. So they contract and expand and helps in the digestion of food. The duodenum is largely responsible for continuing the process of breaking down food. So this duodenum is responsible for the breaking down of food, with jejunum and ileum being mainly responsible for the absorption of nutrients into the blood stream. So now we will see what is colon or what is large intestine. The colon is a 5 to 6 feet long muscular tube. So as you can see this part. If you lay it straight, it will be 5 to 6 feet long. That connects the cecum, the first part of the large intestine, to the rectum, the last part of the large intestine. It is made of the cecum, the ascending right colon, the transverse across colon, the descending left colon, and the sigmoid colon. So called for its S shape. So you can see this S shape. This is like S shaped. This S shaped. So in Greek word, it is known as sigma, which connects to the rectum. Stool or waste left over from the digestive process is passed through the colon by means of persisteles contraction. So it contracts, expand, and it passes all the waste products to the rectum. First in a liquid state and ultimately in solid form. So here all the processes that goes on in the large intestine is mainly the absorption of water. So this absorption, after contractions, it turns into solid form as the water is removed from the stool. A stool is stored in the sigmoid colon until a mass movement empties it into the rectum once or twice a day. It normally takes about 36 hours, means from here to here, to go from the large intestine to the rectum. It takes 36 hours for the stool to get through the colon. The stool itself is mostly food debris and bacteria. These bacteria perform several useful functions such as synthesize various vitamins, processing waste products and food particles, and protecting against harmful bacteria. When the descending colon becomes full of stool, means this is the end part of the colon. So when this part becomes full of stool or feces, it empties its content into the rectum to begin the process of elimination. Elimination means going out of the body or excreting out. So now we will see what is rectum and what is anus. So what is rectum? The rectum, Latin for straight. As you can see, the rectum is straight part. It's an 8-inch chamber that connects the colon to the anus. So this part, it connects to the anal canal. It is a rectum's job to receive stool from the colon. Colon, which means it's a large intestine. So it receives stool from the large intestine. To let you know there is stool to be evacuated and to hold the stool until evacuation happens. When anything, gas or stool, comes out into the rectum, so when it passes from the colon to this part of the rectum, sensors send a message to the brain. The brain then decides if the rectal contents can be released or not. If they can, the sphincter's muscle relaxes. So here, this is the internal sphincter or this is the external sphincter. It lets you know that if it can be out or not. So if they can, the sphincter's muscle relax and the rectum contracts. So the rectums become smaller, expelling its contents. If the contents cannot be expelled, the sphincters contract and the rectum accommodates. Means the rectum expands, but here the internal sphincters contracts. The sphincters contract and the rectum accommodates so that the sensation temporarily goes away. Now the last part is the anus. So the anus is the last part of the digestive tract.
For more such video or doubts, you can type in the comment section. Please subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.